Hello. Welcome to the Liquidity event. I'm your host, AJ.
And I'm Shane.
How you doing, Shane?
I'm great. What episode are we on?
This is episode 30. Happy 30th birthday to the Liquidity event. This bitch is going to get sloppy tonight.
Oh boy. Okay. Dirty 30 episode?
It is our Dirty 30. What did you do for your 30th birthday?
Ooh, it was very dirty. Yeah. I rented a house in the Rockaways and a cake ended up in a swimming pool, in the neighbor's swimming pool, which he was not very excited about that.
Oh no.
Yeah, that was an apology, an extensive
Oops.
apology the next day. Yeah.
Oopsie.
What did you do for your 30th birthday?
I honestly can't remember. I'm racking my brain and I have no memory. I can never remember my birthday. I couldn't remember what I did this past year. And
That
then
was
I
like
remembered...
a few years ago.
I know, I can't remember.
You black out?
I don't remember.
You don't remember?
I honestly can't remember.
You weren't in Japan?
I don't remember. Seriously. It's very sad.
All right.
But I do remember what I did last year for my birthday, which was that a bunch of friends and I went to the Rockaway Hotel and had a great time. That was really fun.
Oh,
You were
yeah.
there.
I
We
was
had a
there.
seafood tower.
That was less than a mile from the pool cake incident.
Nothing like a good old Rockaway Beach birthday party.
Mhm.
What you drinking? I hear you're slurping over there.
Mm.
That's gross.
Oh my God. It is gross, but it's so good. Every woman in my life complains about the way I slurp whiskey. But I can't help it. It's just too tasty. It's a Lefroy quarter cask. It's just like a nice scotch in a little bitty barrel that tastes like oak. It's tasty and smoke. What you got going on over there?
We have a delicious natural wine. I didn't bring in the bottle, so I don't know what it is, but it was so delicious. Did you see the face I made before we started recording? I wasn't reacting to you. I was reacting to the deliciousness of this wine.
Oh, yeah. I turned my video on and you immediately recoiled. I thought that was
No, it was delight at this.
the standard response to my video camera coming on.
Are you actually reading a book this week? I watched you read a book all of last week.
The fuck? I'm always actually reading the books that I mentioned. Wow. What a dirty... Yeah. Yeah, I read a pretty popular book, Outliers by, what's his name? Malcolm Gladwell, I got dunked on for reading a popular writer.
I was very... every time you mentioned that you were reading that to anyone that we came into contact with, we were in San Francisco together last week, everyone was like, pfft. They were like... not impressed by that. What
Right.
is he just like basic? He's like basic philosophy? Is that the deal? Like what?
It's so readable. It's not impressive if you read these books. It's like pop science, you know. It's like every chapter is like, wow, I never do that. Wow, it's like Freakonomics. You're just like, this is so interesting. But I guess it's just so easy to dunk on it because, yeah.
That's funny because that's the opposite of what I'm reading, which is an academic book called Just Giving: Why Philanthropy is Failing Democracy by Rob Reich, which we picked up in the Stanford University bookstore. I'm interested in the philosophy of giving and why people give. And it's interesting. It's very dry and very academic. The first 25 pages are about the practice of liturgy in ancient Athens, where there was required cash contributions by rich people. So rich people had to finance the warships and finance public works. It was seen as their duty. So that's very exciting. It's very, very dry. So I will stop talking about it now and ask you if you have any IPOs to deep dive on this week.
I mean, I could literally talk about Outliers for hours. It's so much fun. It's such a delicious read. If you don't like anything because it's popular, like fuck off. Like that is so 2006. Like Pitchfork. Like you don't even like
God.
Pitchfork because it's popular.
I wish I could be a fly on the wall of myself when I was 14 because that was just my whole vibe. I was an angry, disaffected, bitchy teenage girl in Los Angeles who loved pop punk and wore black and was so awful. And I wish I could just be there to experience no, I don't like that. I don't want to do that. That sucks.
People dunk on people that like The Office, like, oh, The Office is not a personality. Well, just not liking things because they're popular is also not a personality. Okay. So that's my retort to that. If you like something and you enjoy it, don't let people to tell you that it's lame and basic. Just enjoy your life. Anyway, what are you doing for fun, AJ? What's going on in your personal life?
My
You
doing
didn't
for
put
fun
anything
box
in the
is
box.
blank.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be honest with you. My life is not fun right now because my husband has COVID and we are living in the same house.
Oh, yeah.
So anytime I want to do anything, I put on my little mask, and I haven't actually encountered him in like 4 days, and we're making it work, but it is not fun. It is very much not fun. He's doing fine. He just feels a little under the weather, but I'm trying not to get sick. So far, so good. So that's what I'm doing for fun.
You can live in the same house as someone with COVID and not get it.
Apparently, if you're very careful.
Are you taking a COVID test every day?
Not test. I mean, I'm not doing. I feel okay. We'll test before we go outside. But yeah, following the
So
CDC,
give me
the CDC guidelines.
now give me because I know your house. You're following the CDC. I'm living with someone with COVID guidelines.
Yes,
Do they have
they
a
do.
paragraph on that? So I
My
know
mother
for a
sent it
fact,
to me, of course.
Okay.
So I'm sleeping in the bedroom. We have 2 bathrooms.
Well, hold
so
on. Let me describe your house.
Okay,
Let me
yeah.
describe your house. So
it's gonna be a great episode, by the way.
your office is on the other side of the kitchen, and the bedroom is on the other side of the kitchen. So every day, the bedroom and he's sleeping in the living room.
Yes, he's
right?
sleeping on a couch.
Which is also essentially the kitchen. So
Yes.
you walk through his zone every day to go to work. You commute through the COVID zone is what I'm trying to say.
Yep, I wear my hazmat suit. Yep.
You do not wear a hazmat suit. You wear a mask.
I wear a mask.
And what do you like spray?
I mean, it's not airborne. It's not like the movie Outbreak. Like it's not.
It's gone airborne.
Yeah, exactly. Which is my favorite movie.
I thought it literally is airborne though.
But it's airborne
I'm
if you
too afraid to ask how COVID gets spread at this point.
No, it's like if you like sneeze at someone or like it's like spittle. Like that's not air. Like that's physical particles of moisture carrying viruses moving from one human to another with a mask
through the air
6 feet apart. Surfaces being wiped down. Like it's not like ultra contagious. It's pretty contagious. Like it's not like it's gonna float. The particles are floating in the. That's airborne. Is when the particles are floating in the air and they go through the air conditioning vent and kill everyone in the building. We're not there yet.
There's no monkeys in your house running around.
No patient zero. Oh my god, that's, by the way, listeners, if you have not seen Outbreak, please rectify that as soon as possible. It's a perfect film.
It really is. Yeah. An hour and a half goes by in about 4 minutes.
Yeah. I'm going to actually end this podcast early and go watch Outbreak. So I'll see you next week.
Well, that was episode 30. Big release. The Liquidity event. Thank you all for listening.
Happy Dirty 30, y'all.
Pot in box or whatever. Freaks, 5 stars. Thank you. Should we carry on with the normal part of the show?
Sure. What do you want to talk about?
Well, we do have a deep dive on Aleph. You know, the markets were pretty cold, pretty chilly, just like New York City in terms of IPOs. But we did finally have an actual IPO listing or an S1 filing, aka an upcoming IPO from a UAE-based company out of Dubai called Aleph Group, which doesn't really tell us anything. Their tagline is the last mile in digital media. And it looks like, from what I can take away from their S1 filing, they specialize in getting into the emerging markets, getting advertising into digital advertising into emerging markets, Malaysia, Indonesia, anywhere like the edges where people struggle to do traditional advertising. And they are huge on Twitter, Facebook, Twitch, etc. They leverage those platforms.
It's actually Meta.
Oh my fucking God. I literally just got. I don't ever actually feel emotions while we do this, but after the Zuck announced that Facebookers have to, Meta, whatever. Now they have to call each other Meta Mates. Is their new announcement that came out yesterday? Oh, he announced that yesterday. You're not colleagues. You're Meta Mates.
What do we call Brooklyn FI teammates?
I don't know. We haven't come up with that. Brooklyn Fires, Thinders. Feckless.
My homies.
I don't know. No, not that. Definitely not that one. Anyway, Aleph Group is profitable. They are turning a 41% EBITDA around, which is amazing, on $168 million of last 12 months of sales. They're growing at 84% per year. They were founded in 2005, so they've been slogging along for 17 years now, and they have 1,000 employees worldwide, which is crazy.
Printing money at this point.
They are printing money at this point by leveraging these digital media platforms. So really, really interesting, intriguing IPO. Much, the first one of 2022 that has carrying any weight. It looks like they're looking to raise $300 million as well, which is 2 times their annual revenue, to really speed up growth. They work in the communication services industry. Yeah. This is a big one. This is one to watch out for. I feel like this is going to be one of those companies that just does really fucking well under the radar for a long time.
Sleeper.
And isn't like a direct to consumer. It's B2B stuff. Sleeper, that it's just a good business that you don't think about very often because we don't experience it too often in retail.
Right. You've never heard of them, yet you have received ads marketed by Aleph?
I don't know.
Didn't watch a video on how to pronounce that one.
Aleph.
Sorry.
They're
Sorry,
from the
folks.
UAE.
Aleph.
Yeah, I don't know.
I like their overview. Aleph is a leading global enabler, full stop, of digital advertising. I prefer just to say that they're a leading global enabler. You're a leading global enabler.
Yeah, that would be a cool title. Worldwide. I'm in the 12 steps program. Step 11 is get away from Shane.
You're an LG. Shane is our LGE.
Yeah, just the last step there before step 12. What is the 12th step?
Nirvana? I don't know.
Accept Jesus Christ into your heart, I think. Shall we get into the articles? What do we have this week? We have a big tech article right off the rip. This is very much on the zeitgeist of today in terms of this podcast. Apple, Amazon, Google all have elevated their equity compensation to retain talent. They've all upped their compensation packages in the fight on retention. What do you have here, AJ? What's going on with this?
Yeah, this article is my sorry, I was sipping whiskey. Like
whoa.
Is
that what I sound like? Yikes.
Yes,
sound like the alien right before he plunges his second head into your heart.
This is about the massive tech firms, Amazon, Apple, and Google, basically they have to be public about increasing their equity packages for, in some cases, high-level executives, but in other cases, your rank-and-file white-collar employee. Amazon famously has a salary cap for all employees of $160,000. Well, that wasn't enough to get employees to stay, so they actually increased that to $350,000. So quite a big leap there.
Wait, the cap base salary is at $160,000? That's a very low.
They've always done that, and the way they keep talent is through these outsized equity grants, which come with all of these strings not strings. They have peculiar vesting schedules where I think historically it was like 5. So it's like so you get your 160 base, and let's say you get a $300,000 Amazon RSU grant. Well, it's a 3-year vesting schedule, except after the first year, only 5% vests. So it's not equal. Second year, 15% vest, and so on and so forth. Maybe it's not 3 years. But it's basically like you got to work at Amazon for 2 years. And once you hit that 2 years, like that's really your first opportunity to make that higher salary. So that wasn't working. It wasn't retaining talent. So they increased the base from 160 to 350. Amazon also stated they'll be making stock grants to employees when they are promoted instead of waiting for their annual grant cycle. So it used to be like, sorry, we have to wait till our next review cycle. Now it's just going to be anytime there's a promotion. A grant refresh or an equity refresh is on the table. But this article is about not just Amazon. A lot of it was about Amazon. We've also got Apple and Google. At Apple, basically, talent was leaving. Throw in on some sweet equity refresh grants, anywhere from $50K to $180K. Apple stock is doing well. I would take some Apple RSUs to stay. How about you? With a side.
I'm a terrible employee, so yeah, sure. I'll take whatever a giant corporation will throw at me. The only way I'm staying working at any of these companies is big head style, where I just fly under the radar. They forget that I'm on the payroll.
Also, speaking of Apple, recently was an Apple store.
You're holding up a
purchase.
AirPods.
I am holding up.
We have
AirPods
a digression
Max
into personal lifestyle.
And spent $249 on these bad boys. These things suck. I can't hear anybody.
50% discount. So I don't know.
Sure.
What.
Yes, it was a business expense. That is true. But these don't work. I can't hear anybody. I'm going back to my crappy wired headphones with my jangle donk or whatever.
AirPods? You think that AirPods don't work?
It doesn't work. It's not working for me. Anyways. They work for you?
I beg to do. Yeah, that's one of the best products ever invented. You know that the revenue on AirPods alone is like
They don't
worth
work
more
for
than
me.
like
I couldn't
the
hear it.
GDP of Colombia. Yeah, they're amazing.
You were on the phone with me, or you were next to me in the car when I was trying to do a work call, and I couldn't fucking hear anything.
Huh.
Pardon my swearing.
Let's explore. Maybe you need to change out the caps there, the buds. Let me come over and troubleshoot. Let me fly up.
IT.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Anyway, just to round this out, yeah, my hot take is AirPods don't work. But Google also granting massive performance awards to top executives. This is not for the rank and file employees. I'm talking about stock awards in the range of $23 and $35 million, which is cool. But these are PSUs, performance share units, which are an interesting part of equity compensation. We don't see these a ton. Have you encountered PSUs often?
I haven't. No,
Yeah.
in the forest of equity comp, this is one of the oddest trees or the rarest trees for sure.
Yeah, I've seen them a few times with clients. Not in $23 million grants here, but yeah, basically these $23 million potential payouts only happen if Apple's stock price gets to a certain point, or their TSR, their total shareholder return, is high enough. I'm sure there's a number set forth in the terms, is high enough relative to other companies in the S&P 100. I love this article. If you couldn't tell, I'm going to just talk for the next 45 minutes about this article.
I mean, this is our bread and butter here, is helping people with their RSUs and equity comp, or GSUs if you work at Alphabet, which I think is funny.
Right, exactly. They're not even RSUs. Right, they're not even PSUs. They're actually
they are RSUs.
GPSUs.
They call them GSUs.
Yeah, they just made up their own thing.
The company has changed its fucking name from Google to Apple. So Alphabet. So what is it now? ASUs? Arizona State University?
Don't make an ass out of me and you know what I mean?
There it is.
Never RSU.
Yeah. Yeah, other article here is on underwater stock options.
Sorry, one last thing. Tim Cook only makes $100 million?
Yeah, you have a note here that you're surprised that Tim Cook only makes $100 million. Is that not enough money for you? $100 million a year?
I mean, it's a lot of money, but he's the fucking CEO of Apple.
Yeah, but he didn't found Apple.
Yeah, but I don't know. That just surprised me. I was expecting that number to be wildly larger than that. Anyway. I have no hot take other than I just thought it was low.
He's just a country boy, loves Auburn football. What can you take from him? Or what is it, like Alabama? I forget what it is.
Whatever you just did, I'm not
He's just a huckster. He's just a young. You don't like my southern accent?
No. It terrifies me. You scared to feel.
Mustard and potatoes.
Wait, so underwater options? What's the deal?
Yeah, well, it's just people forget that stonks don't just go up. So there are some people that are awarded stock options, which require that you exercise them at a certain price, or they give you a fixed price to purchase them at. And then when they're worth more in the future, the spread between the strike price and what the fair market value is income to you. People forget that stonks don't only go up. So there are what's called underwater stock options where the strike price is higher than the fair market value. So you can buy a share at let's say $100 and it's only worth $10 at the time, aka what my dad's shares were worth when he worked at MGM after the Great Resignation, and the Great Recession. Yeah, there it is. There's so many greats now.
So it's a great time to be alive. It's a great time
Resignation,
to be a millennial.
Great Recession. Yeah, I've been a part of both of them. 2 out of 3. And so it's just a fun little personal anecdote that your fair market value does not always exceed your strike price. So there are
I would imagine
options.
If you're a new-ish Spotify employee, you are experiencing this concept of underwater options because maybe you started a year or two ago. Maybe you love your job. Everything's great. You're getting all these option grants. Maybe your strike price is $200, $250. We've seen Spotify's stock price fall a bit over the past couple of weeks. Why is that? Why do we think Spotify's stock price is falling?
Well, that's because it's highly correlated to Peloton's stock price.
That was a segue. I just teed you up for the most beautiful segue
I know
of all
what you're
time.
trying to do, and I'm not taking the bait.
Oh my God.
We should also talk about Peloton's
Are you
stock price.
crying? Why are you crying? What happened?
The air is so dry here. My eyes.
What is happening?
I have blepharitis. Leave me alone.
You have what?
Moving on. Yeah, do your segue.
I forgot. Oh, Spotify. Why is
Joe
Spotify's-
Rogan? You
Yeah.
want to do a Joe Rogan commentary? What do you have to say about the donk?
What's the dunk?
Joe Roganator, the Roganator. What do you want
Is it
him?
dunk? I
Yeah,
don't know what that means.
he's worse than a donk. Yeah, he's the N-word a lot. That's an idiot. That is.
Yeah, I think he's a
tone
bigot.
deaf.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't think he's a bigot. I think he's an idiot.
I
You think he's a bigot?
yeah, using that word the way that he did so many times. Yeah, that's a misunderstanding and I'm not down with that.
What was the context he was using it in?
I don't know what the context was, but
Well,
the
I
fact
feel
that
like that's important for you to know the context
it?
before. Yeah, of course.
I mean, to blatantly say it so many times over and over and over again without respecting what it means for certain people as not a member of that race is...
It is bigot behavior for sure. Yeah. And there should be no bigot behavior. It's inexcusable to express bigot behavior.
Yep, that's how I feel. So we've got a lot of underwater options.
Yeah, well, speaking of underwater, let's put Joe Rogan underwater and not bring him up for air. What did you want to talk about Joe Rogan for? Do you have something else that you want to get into?
No, I
don't see the segue that you're touching on.
Oh no, just we had a Joe Rogan article down here somewhere in our magical liquidity event scroll.
That we mention all the time.
No, just I don't know. I just find it interesting. So I used to work at a company called Bandcamp, which is sort of the anti-Spotify, which is like artists first, transparent, pay artists, pay them directly. So there was this moment kind of throughout the Joe Rogan controversy where Neil Young, Joni Mitchell, India Arie, other artists were like, I'm leaving Spotify, I'm out until you do something. And I think the something that they were referring to was pull Joe Rogan off your platform, even though he's one of the biggest drivers of their revenue. There was this moment where it was like, what are the alternatives to Spotify? My little corner of the internet, which has a lot of music journalists in it, were like, let's go. Where else can we go if we're going to boycott Spotify? And Bandcamp was one of those companies that came up. So I just wanted to talk about how wonderful Bandcamp is. If you want to support an artist directly, you can listen to their music and
wait. That's not a competitor with Spotify. You're saying
it's not
that
a competitor. It's an alternative.
It's if it's not a competitor, it's not really an alternative, is it?
Why not?
Isn't the default alternative Tidal and Apple Music?
Potentially. But if you like a certain kind of music, why couldn't it be Bandcamp?
Wait. Bandcamp. This is your plug for your former employer?
No, I just think it's interesting that in these conversations, like if the reason you're leaving Spotify is because you have moral objection to their practices around keeping Joe Rogan on their platform and how they pay artists, and that's your reason for leaving, you're obviously a person who has principles and is going to make life choices, potentially life sacrifices in the name of those principles. So if you're one of those people, Bandcamp is a great alternative for you.
Got ya. That's an interesting take. Yeah. I feel like that's like saying I don't want to use an iPhone. What are my alternatives for smartphones? And you recommend a Motorola Razr.
Yes.
It is.
Actually, it would be a crazer.
It is a choice. I don't feel like that is an alternative, like an apples to apples exchange. I mean,
it's not. It's an alternative. It's not a comparison. It's an alternative.
Okay. All right. Fair enough. You're a little biased considering your background, but it is exceptionally, your take on the Spotify thing is exceptionally interesting given your music journalism background. So, yeah, of course.
I don't think it is.
No? You think it's less?
It's less interesting.
Yeah, fair enough. All right. Well, we're obviously soaking up a lot of time on just a few articles here, so we're just going to have to narrow it down to a few things that are topical. Do you want to talk about? Well, we have to talk about. We're not. I love that on this podcast we're not going to talk about the Super Bowl, which is like the biggest entertainment.
The Bowl?
Exactly. The biggest sports event of the year. We're just going to skip over that because that's not our vibe. The only way we're going to talk about the Super Bowl on here.
I hope what you're gonna say is what I want you to say.
What, that Larry David is the comedian of our time?
No.
That the St. Louis Rams, no one even.
No, that FKA Kanye West was having a self was having a battle with himself in the mirror, trashing Pete Davidson and Kim Kardashian during the Super Bowl. That was the only Super Bowl I watched.
Got it. Yeah. That was the Super Bowl for you, was Kanye versus, I'm not calling him Ye, by the way, or Ye.
That's his name.
I guess I'm canceled then. Yeah, was Ye versus Pete Davidson, which is, I usually don't give a damn about celebrity. You love Pete.
I love Pete Davidson.
Why do you love Pete Davidson?
Because he's just like toxic and hot and has tattoos, and I love Pete Davidson. And he's funny.
Is he toxic?
Yeah, he just like looks like a bad boy. He's just like a classic funny bad boy. He's candy.
He's candy. He's like if I described a woman as candy, would that be okay?
You would be canceled.
Moving forward?
No.
Got it.
Yeah,
Are double standards okay?
Yeah, double standards are fine. Hey.
On the podcast, recorded here, February 16th. I got so excited. I got so excited.
You got so excited you went back in time 6 months?
Yeah. Well, I do want to predate this. The earlier the better, that I get it on record that double standards are okay with you.
No, it's not what I said.
All right. Well, this has been an interesting episode of the Liquidity event so far. AJ says that double standards are cool, that boys are candy.
No.
Anyway, I recommend everyone check out the Vanity Fair string of tweets. He tweeted in all caps at himself, essentially posted images. he called Pete Davidson a dickhead. I can contain my laughter here. He just essentially posted a bunch of bullshit photos of him being a comedian and dressing like shit and calling him a dickhead and telling him he's going to whoop his ass. And then posted secret. He has Kim's number in his phone as Kim's new phone number, which I find so funny. That like your wife has a new phone number and that's what it's saved as in your phone. That's some boomer shit.
Yeah, but is Kim the kind of person that needs like to get a new phone like every 3 days because she just has so many people that want to be close to her and potentially stalk her and harm her that she's just like, oh, it's my new number. It's me. So maybe he just like constantly has to cycle through them.
I doubt it. I think that she probably has a phone number that she shares with Kanye West and they use that number together.
Yeah, until he tweets it out to the universe and says, text my ex-wife.
Right. I don't know. These are things
Anyways,
that
to end on a high note.
Yeah.
To end on a high note, the greatest hero of the modern age, Dolly Parton. That was a weird way of saying that. Dolly Parton wants to eliminate your student loans. So Dollywood, her theme park and vacation spot and conference center near her hometown of Pigeon Forge, if you work at Dollywood, she will pay 100% of your college tuition. It sort of seems like there's no strings attached. Doesn't seem like a publicity stunt. Dolly Parton is famous for giving away large sums of her vast net worth to great causes. Didn't she give like an absurd amount of money to like fund the vaccine when like no other celebrities were like stepping forward? She was like instrumental in getting like Moderna done quickly or something. I'm getting all those facts wrong, but
all of them wrong. I think she covered her own song, Vaccine. I can't sing.
Well, that was later.
Yeah. Oh, did she do both?
Like early pandemic, she gave money.
The queen. She's candy.
See, it's fine. Candy is fine.
It's okay to call women in their 70s candy. That's as far as I've got it. So.
Fact check. Dolly Parton donated to Moderna's COVID-19 vaccine. It's true. The claim that Dolly Parton helped fund Moderna's COVID-19.
All right.
$1 million.
Email us at liquidityevent@brooklynify.com. You can leave us a voicemail and we will play it on the air. podinbox.com/the liquidity event. You can also record a voicemail just on your iPhone or just on your iPhone and send it to liquidityevent@brooklynify.com.
Or your Crazer.
Nope. Show notes at brooklynify.com/episode 30. Happy birthday to the Liquidity event. BKFI stands can leave us a review if they want to be weird about it. Thank you guys so much. Hugs. Especially to you, Dolly.
Bye.
All right. You're canceled.